And welcome to another episode of the FFtalk. Welcome wherever you are. How you guys doing? Hope everyone is good. Everyone's feeling blessed. I'm feeling blessed. On today's episode, this is another episode of the FFtalk called the Football Influencers. And for this particular edition, I'm going to be talking about none other than the giant brand himself. Call it Adidas, right? If you know me, I'm an Adidas fan. I've been a fan for ages now. It's been quite a journey, and I just wanted to dive in to understand. Wait, why am I so in love with this brand? What is the history behind this brand? You can see on the side of me, I got a couple of shirts that I'm very proud to own. So many histories, so many memories associated with these shirts, jerseys, jackets, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to name it. But yeah, let's dive right in. If I can pull up what I'm trying to talk about here. Okay, so historical facts about Adidas, right? Funny enough, I found out that they were founded by the Dassler brothers, and these guys, the Germans, I believe they're born and raised in Germany. After World War One, 1924-ish was when these guys founded the brand, but not it wasn't called Adidas then. It was called something else. They were born in the city of Generalwerk. I don't want to butcher it, but I'll probably post a picture in the link where in this particular city where it was founded, they had to use a stationary bike, right, to generate enough power to run the machinery that will, generate electricity for them, because the city that this was invented then, they didn't have enough power supply. If you look at one of my previous recordings, kind of reminds me of where I'm from, Nigeria. We don't have constant power supply up Nepal. But yeah, it was something that they had to do. I was quite amazed about that, using a bike to generate electricity. That's quite inventive. But first, the first form of fame was during, I believe, the 1936 Berlin Olympics, where, if you guys, I don't know your history, how you connected with Olympics, but there was this major guy during the Olympics. I wasn't born then, but based on historical facts, Jesse Owens, that's his name, wore the GEDA, I'll call it the Jeddah spiked athletic shoes, where he won four gold medals. This brought some nice attention to the point where the brothers sold roughly about 200,000 pairs of shoes, right, annually, of those shoes. Jesse did his own thing with his, winning, but you see somebody winning something, and whatever they're wearing at that time, that's what you want to buy. So that's great marketing. So this brought some nice attention to the point where the brothers sold roughly about 200,000 shoes annually. Then after that, I believe the Nazis, I don't like to call them, but it's part of history, they took control of Germany, right? And after they did that, the firm began to supply the youth. Kind of shady stuff about to go on here, where they became the official shoes for the German teams in the Olympics, or generally speaking. But not only that, what's quite amazing is they didn't just only create shoes. There is this theory where the Dassler brothers, their shoe factory, the same one that they were using bikes to generate electricity, eventually became what you would call an arsenal to store and create weapons for the Nazi armed forces. What's up with that, man? I guess, you know, they're Germans and that's what they felt they should do. I felt it was wrong to do that. So I kind of questioned, there's some hidden past stories about this brand that I'm so in love with. Like, you know, it's always good to look at historical facts. But after all this, there was some tension between the brothers, I believe, that was going on, where this now had to relate to the birth of what we see Adidas, which eventually became the birth of Puma. I didn't know that. But here's what happened. Check this out. So the brothers had a feud during the war where one of them was detained for a relationship with the Nazis. I don't know which of the Dassler brothers this was. And the other got deployed, so to speak. So the names, if I didn't mention, were Adolf and Rudolf. So Adolf, Rudolf Dassler. Now, it got to a point where they had to get some. They just decided that, look, this stuff is not working. The Adolf and Rudolf Dassler then separated, where Adolf then went ahead to rebrand with his nickname, and his nickname Adolf was Adi. Yeah, it's like first three, Adi. And he used the first three letters of his name, Adi, with his nickname, and from that he now added the last name Dassler, right? Get it? Adi, first three, Dassler, Das, Adi, Das. Yeah. So that's how Adidas was formed. Pretty cool. Rudolf also created his own brand. Initially, he created what he called Ruda, R-U-D-A. Similar pattern like his brother, but eventually he changed it to Puma. So this became a brand statement for the locals, where it was like, it's either you're on the Adidas side or you're on the Puma side. You get me? Like, where are you? What side are you supporting? Are you A or B? If you're A, if you're Adidas, you're doing your own things. You're going to your own pubs. You're going to your own factories. You're going to your own ice cream shops. And if you're Puma, you're literally doing your own thing in your own section as well. What's fascinating is the loyalty these people showed in their city was just crazy. Each side it was just Adidas versus Puma. It was just like that, to the point where in terms of football, they had their own local clubs as well, where one of the clubs, I believe, in the city showed, each of those clubs showed their support. So one of the clubs chose Adidas as their sponsor, while the other club chose Puma as the sponsor, and that was it. So choosing sides was quite a thing in their generation. So that's what gave birth to what we're seeing today. That's the history. The pivotal point, though, I like to pivot on this, was in 1954, the 1954 World Cup. I don't know if anyone, maybe your granddads or people were there at that time, where this took place, where Germany beat Hungary, and they were wearing Adidas. And this certain Adidas shoes or boots or cleats, we like to call them, were those boots where they had those screw-in ones, which I'm going to talk about on one of my segments about Adidas shoes. And we call them studs. And these studs were based to be, or created to be adjusted based on the weather. So Hungary, they didn't have that panache or advancement on their shoes, but the Germans had that advantage on them, where maybe the weather was not too good, but their studs were able to function based on how the creation of the shoes were relating to the environment. So that helped them a lot. The game was then televised also. That was big. I think it was not black, probably it was black and white. I'm not sure what it was then, but it allowed people around the world to become part of the global household name that we see it is today. Fast forward to 1967, after Adidas made their tracksuits, which, I mean, the it's a crazy brand now. I believe they made that available to consumers, and the rest, as they say, became history. But I think what really made Adidas become very powerful, right? I've talked about the Jesse Owens, the German national team, um, but one particular group. I don't know if you guys. I'm a huge music fan, right? And I didn't know this, but I just thought these guys I'm about to mention just loved Adidas and just felt it was cool. They had a partnership. Well, before I jump into that, they had a partnership with the World Cup in Mexico 1970, where things no longer were black and white on TV, so they could see, colored versions of what things look like in the game. But then in the US, going back to what I was saying about I'm loving music. I love music. Adidas got established in 1986 in the US, where the hip hop legends, Run DMC, right? Run DMC literally ran with everything Adidas, yo. Like the hats, the track suits, the track pants, the shoes. Like they were making it feel so cool. But not only that, from the looks, they even created a song titled My Adidas. What? Like they were so infatuated and so in love with Adidas, they had to create a song in the mix of what they were wearing. So it's a household name right now. It's become part of nature of what we see everyday life. Like I just love the brand. I remember growing up as a kid, my first pair of shoes were actually Adidas. The mentor, a person I loved growing up watching soccer, was a huge Adidas influencer, which I'll be talking on one of my segments. But yeah, that's been the transition of Adidas, of how we came into light. How does it affect today? It's everywhere. Adidas is everywhere. You see stores, you see it in music videos, you see it in athleticism, you see it in people just everyday lifestyle. It's a culture now. It's a brand that it's here. I don't see it going anywhere. I think they're gonna keep evolving with bringing in new ways of just embracing culture in different forms and styles and void and just so many things out there for people to just love the feel. Let me know what you guys think about Adidas. How you feel, if it's a brand that you guys love as well. What made you fall in love with Adidas? What made you get into the brand? For me, I just love the brand. Like the three stripes. I love the three stripes. I love the traditional logo. I love the classic look. I'm a classic style guy. I love it. I love this. This one is not bad. It has the stripes as well on the sides. But yeah, that's it, man. I'll be sure to talk more about like the Adidas shoes, the Predators specifically, and this is history on what it's done and why I love it so much. And man, just stay tuned to that. So on to that episode. Thank you for watching.